Hi, everybody.
Hello there.
I'm Jerry.
And I'm Linda, and this is Gizmo.
We're the Village's Newcomers. We have a rip-roaring show for you today. Lots of great information.
A lesson on pools, palm trees, and pickleball.
Overcrowding and more. Right here on...
Send us your questions, we've got your answers. Jerry and Linda's Mailbag Monday.
We need to make a big apology. Some of you are so generous and so thoughtful and sent us cards. You can see some of them behind us here. And even some gifts. And we didn't acknowledge them because we didn't get them.
Mm-mm.
Check out this picture. We got this box of mail just day before yesterday, full of goodies and letters and well wishes, dated all the way back to the 1st of November. Some sort of glitch at the post office, but we have them now, and we appreciate every one of you. Sometimes if you send us a card, letter, gift, whatever, if you want to include your telephone number, that will make it easy for us to get a hold of you if we need to. If you feel like sharing that, please do. And a reminder, if you haven't followed us on Facebook yet, you can go to the Village's Newcomers, Jerry and Linda on Facebook. That's where we share little things like family photos and little clips we take around here. Often when we're replying to your comments on YouTube, we can't insert any pictures, any movies, anything like that. So if you want to follow us on Facebook, we'd appreciate that, and we'll be able to communicate a little bit better with you. Let's move on to some shout outs. Jim and Fifi invited us to a Christmas party. And
Boy, that was a fun time.
it was great. A lovely, lovely couple, and she is a tremendous cook.
A baker for sure. The spread was amazing.
Here's Jeff and Colleen. They're from New York, and we bumped into them while we were biking this week. I met Tony and Mike from Ohio when I was over at Edna's on the Green this week. Danny, Audrey, and Maggie visited the Grandview Clydesdales. Remember that show we did on that? Well, they went and had a great time. They're from Boston. Now they live in Marsh Bend.
Patrick, Olivia, and Gibbs in their Jerry and Linda t-shirts.
Yeah, they're standing in front of a moving van, and they're moving all the way from California to Florida. Here's Kim Hamilton and her family. What a great looking bunch, all the way out in Idaho.
Here's David and Carol Dodge.
Yves Welvart and Brigitte, all the way from Belgium, sent us this photo.
Jerry and friend from Indiana, they're getting ready for a lifestyle stay.
Yeah, they're from up in Notre Dame country. Did you notice our Mailbag Monday sign a minute ago? I put a couple leprechauns on there. Celebrate our new coach. Yeah,
Woo-hoo!
Marcus Freeman. Goodbye, Brian Kelly. Here's Pamela's pups, Sadie Rose and Marty.
And Kim's little darling, Savannah.
We had a pretty busy week.
We had a very busy week. What week isn't busy?
They're all busy in a good way, in a good way.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved the concert we went to the other night.
Oh, the Gatlin brothers. Oh, they're so great.
Larry Gatlin and the Gatlin brothers performed at the Savannah Center. That's in a very nice venue. A great concert. I don't know how these guys do it.
Mm-hmm.
Not only them, but I mean, we love Exile, another country group. But man, at 73 years old, how does he sound so good?
Wonderful. And they had a great turnout. It was a packed crowd.
Yeah. And we changed the oil in both of our golf carts this week. That only needs to be done once a year. They hold 1 quart of oil. You can pay somebody $79 to do that, or you can do it yourself for about $6.
Yeah.
It just takes a little bit, and you got to get rid of the oil, the old oil when you're done. But we did that. We put up some Christmas lights, not too much. She wants to do more.
I do.
I have a firm belief that old men do not belong on ladders. She keeps urging me to get up on a ladder. She says, higher, higher. Get up to the very tip top. I went on a long bike ride. She had a day out with the girls. We stay pretty busy. Time for our first question. I love this question. I absolutely love it. Here's a postcard that was sent in. This is from Grammy. I love her name.
I love Grammy.
I love everything about
I
her.
love Grammy.
She writes the postcard. She writes on the side. She writes on the borders.
I would do that.
She has a couple of pet chickens and basically wants to know if they can live in her courtyard villa here.
Oh, why not?
Go for it, Grammy. You know,
We won't tell.
I hope you don't have a rooster. Now, if they get up, you know, I don't want a crow and rooster next to me, Grammy.
No.
But if your hens are well behaved and you keep them inside that courtyard wall, nobody's even going to know you have them. And you'll be eating fresh eggs every day. But honestly, I think the rules here, the restrictions say that you can have 2 pets. You're okay there. But I believe it's dogs and cats. So I don't think barnyard animals are allowed.
I would think it would attract coyotes.
We did have another letter this week. I'm not including it, but they want to bring a potbelly pig. You could have some bacon with those eggs. Leon asks, can you get executive tea times on the spur of the moment? How about the day before? Here's a graphic that I took for you, and I'm going to show you several slides. This is looking at tomorrow. So I looked today on the tea time system to see what's available. As you can see there, not much. Very early, there are a few. And very late, there are a few when there's almost not enough time to even play 9 holes. Here you can see, starting at 8:05, you see the zeros in the middle. That's how many openings there are. Now at 8:23, there's 1 opening, and you can see 0 men are playing in that foursome there, but 3 females have already signed up. So if you wanted to play and you don't mind joining 3 females, you could plug yourself in there at 8:23. Then you look further down, 0, 0, 0, 0. Then at 9:17, there's 1 opening. There are 3 more females playing that need 1 more player to fill out the foursome. And that's the way it goes. Let's look a little later at 10 o'clock. At 10:20, there's none available, but at 10:29, there is 1 man and 2 females playing, and you could go into there if you like. The whole point from this, and we'll look a little later and a little later, are that you might find a single spot. I think in a day there are roughly 250 tee times available at each course. In this case, there were 12 available, and they were singles. So if you want to play by yourself, you probably can find a place to play tomorrow. If you want to play with a friend, it's a lot tougher. If you have a foursome, it's real tough. You might get lucky because they just have a point system. And if you don't show up or you don't play and you have a tee time, you get a penalty. And it makes it harder the next time. So, for example, I did see that a couple of days ago, a foursome canceled the day before. So there were 4 spots open, but it didn't last long. It's tough to get spots right now during snowbird season. If you sign up ahead, 5 days ahead with the tee time system, you could be put in the lottery and you'll probably get something. Not always. We get disappointed sometimes. But it's tough. It's tougher the longer you wait, and it's tougher the more golfers that when you want to play with.
This question is This question is from Maureen. We live in North Carolina, and my husband suffers terribly from environmental allergies. It really affects their quality of life, or his quality of life. Are allergies an issue in Florida? Well, I think it is. Because I notice I'm sneezing or I'm stuffy after I golf. So there are allergies here. People will suffer a little from allergies here.
Totally based on the individual.
Yeah.
Back in Indiana, she will tell you, I like to fish. I like to walk. I'm out in the woods. I'm at the lake, whatever. Sometimes in Indiana, something there would swell my eyes shut almost.
He was a mess.
I was a mess. That happened in springtime mostly, but several times throughout the year. Here in Florida, I don't have any allergies. None at all. No runny nose, no sniffles, nothing. And so it's great for me here. And I've heard other people say the same. But again, there's probably something down here that bothers some people.
It just depends. I mean, I know I had allergies back home with leaves. When I raked the leaves, that next day it was horrible. So it just depends on the vegetation that you're allergic to, and you've got to find out what it is.
Bill and Linda are wondering about ponds and lakes and the need for flood insurance. That's a good question. We are at 70 feet above sea level here. We don't live in a floodplain. If you live in a floodplain, it's probably difficult to get flood insurance, and if you did, it would be sky high. These homes are situated in such a fact that they should be okay. In fact, a couple of years ago when a hurricane came through, I forget the name of it, they use all these golf courses and refuge areas as overflow. So they will fill up with water, but we don't know of any homes that were affected. We did purchase flood insurance when we moved here. Then we realized most of our friends didn't have it. So we don't have it now. We took it off because we think we're high enough and we believe we're okay.
Patrick wanted to know if you can have a modified drain spout into a rain barrel in your backyard.
I think it is allowed. I've seen a couple. But again, we never know what's really allowed or not, because if your neighbors never complain, you're fine. I mean, it's obviously a good use of water.
Sure.
You're retaining water and using it for a good purpose.
Mm-hmm.
So it's probably okay. But again, with everything, call the ARC or the deed restriction office and ask them that question. By the way, when you do call there, it doesn't like alert, 5,000 Wise Way just inquired about a rain barrel. Let's go check. No, they don't do that. Your neighbors have to complain to alert them of wrongdoings. Adrian in Texas says, can you please tell me just how bad are the winter crowds when the snowbirds fly in, and how long does the busy season last? We've noticed an increase in traffic for sure. But you know, I feel like a whiner to even mention traffic here, because our son lives in the Washington, D.C.
That's
area.
right.
You want traffic? Huh?
Yeah.
Or how about Atlanta or Boston or New York?
Right. It's relative.
Right. It's all relative. We do have a lot of traffic here when the snowbirds are here. But those roundabouts keep things flowing. You know, people hate them or love them. I like them.
I love them.
You just have to be careful. You never want to be next to a car in a roundabout. And especially during this time of year, because there will be lots of cars going through the roundabout. We were on our way to a doctor's visit, and we were going up Morse Boulevard. And once we crossed 466, traffic started. It went for miles, backed up. And there was no accident. They were all waiting to come through that light at Morse Boulevard. Adrian, as far as how long does it last? They're here. They'll be here probably till Easter. Around Easter, they start heading back. When the temperature starts warming up, they go north. Felicia's asking about how adult children would be treated here in the villages. I know there'll be grumpy Smurfs wherever you go. That is so true, Felicia. There are grumpy Smurfs wherever you go. You know, when we came here, we were pie in the sky, and our heads were in the clouds, and you know, we were dancing around our living room and everything.
Sure we were.
But now we've noticed there's some grouchy people here, and that comes with age and arthritis. You get Uncle Arthur come and visit you, you get a little grumpy. And
You're not dancing anymore.
But honestly, we have seen, in the last week, I've seen 2 adult children.
Mm-hmm.
Saw one last night.
And we did.
And they were treated just like everybody else.
Yeah.
No problem at all. I wouldn't worry about it. Alex writes that they have recently moved to Florida and they have found the practice of exchanging business cards between people. She says, and it is a she because her name is really Alexandra. She says they hand us personal business cards. How common is that practice? It's really common, Alexandra. It's really common. There's ours. Well, when we came here, we didn't know we'd have a blog, right? We didn't know we'd be doing this. So we had one with our name and address and phone number, and we give it to everybody we meet. And now we have the blog. We have more of a bloggy card that we give out.
But I used one yesterday. I met a lady at the post office and we exchanged pleasantries, and I ended up getting her card, and I didn't really have one of mine with all my phone number. So, and I wanted to have it, so I had to go get a paper and write it all down. But they're nice to have, and it's easier than standing there trying to do your phone and plug it all in. So
we have a whole box of the ones with your name and phone number on.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some more in my purse.
Put them in your purse.
I will.
And Florida is a place where people carry tiny purses.
Yes, we do.
Everybody carries a tiny purse. Back in Indiana, Linda had like an army duffel bag she'd take everywhere. You know, because you had, you have your extra little sweater and an extra pair of underpants and
Couldn't tell secrets.
a little roll of toilet paper and a Swiss Army knife.
Yeah, maybe you did.
Joe and Jen from Massachusetts want to know the differences between the swimming pools here in the villages. Please explain the differences in neighborhood, adult, family, sport, country club, and rec center pools. Also, is the pool water chlorinated or is it salt water? What's the temperature range? Gosh, Joe and Jen, you should have a lot of questions there.
They're good questions.
Yeah, they're good questions. Let's look at a few pools. This is the Colony Cottage Sports Pool. Today it has the dividers in the lanes for lap swimming. You can see how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people in the water now getting their laps in. You can walk, you can swim, but you can't take your pool noodles in and kick back and relax. This pool is for water volleyball, for water aerobics, for lap swimming, etc. Here's Manatee. This is a family pool. First week in December. Not much use. 3 all the way down to 5 feet. This is the Captiva. This is a village pool. You can see all the nice lounge chairs, some shade, and a picnic area over here. And this pool would be open to anyone, all the villagers with resident IDs and their guests. This is the Charlotte neighborhood pool and postal station. So you can see it's high time here in the villages, very crowded. Lots of people are back for the winter, and yet this pool is largely open. We have one customer today. Just put my hand in the water. That is warm water. Beautiful pool. Those pools are all heated. They're not heated in the summer because it's quite warm, but right now, and you saw I put my hand in the water there, that felt good. I wanted to go swimming yesterday. After I did that, I thought, man, this is not, ordinarily, man, that cold water, I don't like it. That water was not cold. It was nice. And this is, early December, so.
I think they heat it to about 85.
83 to 85 degrees, and most of those are saltwater pools, aren't they?
They are.
They're saltwater pools, heated at 83 to 85 degrees. And you saw the crowds. It's crowded season, but not too crowded there. So pools are one of the big bargains here in the villages. Bonnie and Ronnie, to accompany that last question, they wonder what temperature the pools are at. We have not gone in the water in January or February yet, have we?
No.
She did order a wetsuit though.
I did. I want to do the water aerobics in the wintertime, so I want to prepare. So I bought a suit this week, and it was too little. So
She made fun of me, said I was a sausage in mine. Remember on that manatee thing? Well, guess who the sausage is now?
so I had to pack it up and send it back. So I'm going to order another one. But anyway, yeah, I'm planning on doing a wetsuit in the winter here.
Amazon Prime is awesome. It is awesome because they have free returns on almost everything. You try it. If it doesn't fit, somebody out there is going to get a very special wetsuit that has already been tried on by Linda.
Toby wants to know if there are flea markets and yard sales. Oh, yes. Yeah, in the springtime and anytime you'll see a yard sale sign or balloons on the street post, and we'll have yard sales. And there's definitely flea markets around. There's a wonderful one called Marion of Market, right? Is that the name? Market of Marion? I always say that backwards. But it's a great one.
And Webster has a huge flea market, well-known flea market. I think it's been featured on some of those TV shows where they, go rehab furniture and
Cool.
And whatnot.
Yeah, so you're going to find flea markets, yard sales here.
Garage sales, yard sales, etc. It's all here. And it is legal to have yard sale and garage sale here in the villages. Henry asks if there is a choice when it comes to what type of sod you want on your property. Linda did a little checking on that.
Well, I do know the 3 different areas there are different grasses. So, you can't go to a home and dig up your yard and do a different kind of grass. Whatever is in your yard is what's going to be in your yard.
Until the weeds take over.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have Empire zoysia. The south of 44 homes largely have St. Augustine grass. Now, what if you had St. Augustine grass and your next door neighbor wants to put in zoysia? That zoysia and that St. Augustine, they both travel. So you'd have each other's grasses. So I don't think they allow that. But again, it's a question for the ARC or the deed compliance office. Keith and Liz live in the village of Gilchrist, and they wonder if we have any plans to travel. Do you both plan to travel much from your full-time home in the future? What's your favorite place you visited? Do you plan to go outside the U.S.? And how many others do go away for extended trips? Well, Keith and Liz, we do love to travel.
We do.
And we have traveled quite a bit. Since we've been retired, we have gone to England, to France, to Switzerland, to Italy. We've gone to Mexico.
To Japan.
Well, we've gone to Japan. We've gone to Canada. So we do love to travel. However, since we moved to the villages, even though we have a son that's a major airline pilot, we have privileges. As parents, we can fly free. We don't want to. And when we do go places, we can't wait to get back here. That sounds corny, and you may not believe it, but it's true.
And a lot of people share that too, that feeling. But
as far as favorite places, I absolutely love Japan. I love being there. I love going there. I love getting home from there. It's crowded.
Yeah.
If I can find the picture of her on the subway, I'm going to show you that. Oh my goodness. At rush hour. That was an experience. But I think London is right up at the top of our favorite places. We've been there a couple of times. We went 2 weeks and stayed in downtown London for 2 weeks last time we went.
Right.
And that was great fun. Other places, we want to go back to Italy someday. And I'd love to spend more time in Paris and explore the Louvre Museum and see all the sights there.
Yeah, I would too.
But there's no place like home, and we really feel that way about the villages. Jerry and Julie from Citrus Grove don't like the way the palm trees look in some areas of the villages. They say it seems that the villages do not trim their palms that way that most people would on their own lot. Out in the common areas, let's say along Morse Boulevard or Buena Vista, or in the medians or in the public areas, there are big, tall palm trees. And it's Florida, things grow fast. They can't be maintained that often. So the dead branches fall down. And here's a video. Let's take a look. This is what a Washingtonia palm looks like when it's left to go natural. You won't find them like this in many people's yards. Within a yard, people tend to sculpt their trees and keep them very pretty. But with the thousands and thousands of palm trees here in the villages, these trees are sometimes left to go natural, and really doesn't look too bad after it's all said and done. Unfortunately, here's what one can look like when it's not cared for and doesn't age gracefully like the one we just saw. Definite eyesore. As you've seen from the videos here in our neighborhood, the palm trees look great. People don't let that happen usually. They trim them on a regular basis. Now, we have ours trimmed maybe twice a year, minor trimming. And then about every 2 years or 3 years, we may have a major trimming done. Yeah. So it's expensive. And when you think of the millions of palm trees, that's probably exaggeration, but there might be a million. They're everywhere down here. That would be such a major task to keep them trimmed.
Frank and Lori ask about the gas fumes from golf carts. Do we experience that?
The short answer is yes, but to explain that a little bit, it's not a problem. We have gas golf carts. They all have exhaust pipes. The time when you might smell it most would be in the tunnels, when there are not one cart. You're not going to smell it. Probably not 2 carts or even 3. But if 4 or 5 carts go through the tunnel at the same time, you might smell it. But it's not a big deal at all as far as we're concerned. These golf carts don't idle. They only, the engine only runs when you're pressing the gas. So you don't sit in your garage with the motor running on a golf cart. When you press that gas, you're gone. Right. And if you don't press the gas, it won't come on at all. It's automatic. So yeah, it's not that big a deal. We've had some great questions.
We have had some good questions.
And we've come to that time in the program when it's the last one.
This question is from Linda. She wanted to know if I brought my formal china and silverware to Florida. And that is a yes, I did. Have I used it? No, I have not. And I work at Bargains and Blessings, where you're going to see lots of people bringing in all their fancy stuff, their crystal and all that. Well, not crystal, but anyway, fancy stemware and all. People don't use that here. You want to have convenience. We're doing a lot of paper plates. We're doing, melamine, whatever plates, plastic. But no, we don't use that too much here in Florida. I haven't.
How many boxes of that china do we have, you think?
No, I don't know about a box, but we got a place setting for 8. And
how many boxes? They're in those little boxes, right?
Well, we did have now in this cabinet behind you here.
I mean, we probably have 6 boxes of china that have never been out of the box.
Yeah.
My oldest son now, he figures this all out. He would say that, your home is $300 per square foot. You're dedicating $600 of your home square footage to china that you don't use.
Don't use it, sitting there. Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, eventually I probably will get rid of it, but right now I still want to hang on to it. Yeah, I even have some Christmas glasses that I haven't used. But
it's that sentimental stuff, the stuff that you don't use, you'll probably never use, but your mommy gave it to you.
Or my grandmother.
Yeah, and someday we'll pass away. Our kids will come in here and clean this up, and they'll just go.
And they'll all go to the secondhand store. Yeah.
You can get some good stuff at the second. I think if somebody owned the Mona Lisa and they passed away here, they'd probably send that over to Bargains and Blessings.
We have seen a lot of interesting and cool and expensive stuff go through there. Yeah.
All right, you're whining back here.
He's ready.
Are you ready? I heard you have a big bunch of questions to answer today.
Hi, everybody. I got some questions of my own this week. The first one is, am I a paid Hollywood animal actor? Well, no, but I am available if anybody knows of a job that needs a dog like me. Number 2, am I retired? Yeah, I'm retired, but to tell you the truth, retired life's about the same as it was before I was retired, except I get to chase different kinds of animals down here. Number 3, what was my career when I lived up north? I didn't have much of a career. Just like I said, I just went out in the backyard. I had to run of the place, and I just kind of surveyed everything, and I kept Mom and Dad safe. You know I'm a guard dog, and that's what I did up there. Number 4 is a silly question. Do I keep a girl dog in the room while I do my show? No, I don't keep a girl dog in the room. I wish I did, but I don't. I don't even hardly know any girl dogs down here. And number 5, how old am I in people years? That's a good one. I'm 72. You see, the way you do it, well, they used to just say it was 7 years for every dog year is a person year. But now they break it down a little bit different. It's 15 years for the first year, 9 for the second year, and then 4 or 5 every year after that. And when you put that all together with me, I'm 12 and a half years old in dog, almost 13, and that equates to about 72. Thanks for the good questions, everybody! Last night, I heard Mom ask Dad, "Have you seen the dog bowl?" And Dad said, "What?" "I didn't know he could bowl." Ha ha! Bowl!
Great job, pal.
Thank you, Dee.
That's going to do it for this week's edition of
Mailbag Monday.
We're excited about Thursday's show. We have probably the foremost expert on the villages. The author of the book Inside the Bubble is going to be with us, Mr. Ryan Arisman. And he's going to tell us some unique information about the villages and answer questions. So you won't want to miss that.
If you liked our video today, please press that like and subscribe button.
And remember to ring that bell and you'll be notified of future videos. And go over to Facebook, look for the Villages Newcomers, Jerry and Linda, follow that, and you'll see a lot of things that we can't share with you here.
Until next time.
See you when you get here.